CEE Brown in your face.
Have you heard of Everything at Once?
Do you know about Everything at Once?
It's internationally known.
Aliens listen to it.
It's the best ever.
If there's something you're looking for in the 814, or feeling a little bored and think there ain't no more, check out Everything at Once and allow it to be your source. It's that raw podcast that's always showing support, highlighting the scene. No need to take I-90 to Peep or 79 to see how it be. Interviewing your locals with mindsets that are global. Innovators and creators on every single upload. So much going on in the EPA.
Incredible content.
Everything at Once will keep you up to date.
Amazing guests.
What you doing? Come through and hang with Tony and Dave.
Community driven.
Bringing everything at once from around the way. Everything at once from around the way. Hey.
Please listen. We love you. Everything at Once.
Everything at Once.
It's time to introduce this show.
The best show on the face of the planet.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in today. We want to thank our Patreon producers, Brian G., Josh W., Ian D., Nick G., and Sadie M.
Patreon, it's an awesome way to support the show and say thanks. You can become a Patreon supporter by clicking the link below and choosing to be an intern, assistant, or producer level supporter.
If being on the production team is too much pressure for you, you can also send any contributions using our Venmo at Everything at Once Studios. We now want to thank all the local businesses who supported this episode. These businesses get the Everything at Once stamp of approval and are critical members of the Everything at Once community. We couldn't do it without them. With winter approaching, are there any last minute details that you want to change or renovate around your home?
I might, but you know who to call.
Yeah, Ghostbusters!
No, Tony. No, not Ghostbusters. Solid State Construction.
Oh, yeah. Solid State.
Yeah.
Duh. Solid State takes pride in all their home remodeling projects. Solid State specializes in bathroom remodeling, kitchen renovation, window and door installation, custom design work, and more, including painting, flooring, drywall, sidewalk, decks. Get your free quote today by calling Nick at 814-397-7854. Solid people, solid product, Solid State Construction.
You know, Tony, with all these renovations from Solid State, I think we might have kicked up some bad energy around here. Yeah, oh yeah. Luckily, we know just the people to go see.
I know it this time. It's Ghostbusters.
No, Tony! Our friends at Cauldron and Thorne!
Wow. I feel really dumb right now, and I can't believe I didn't think of Cauldron and Thorne, the world's largest witchcraft and metaphysical shop, with everything a person needs to channel the spirit world.
Practice some self-care.
Find enlightenment.
Curse your enemies.
Protect yourself from your enemies.
Bless your friends.
Cleanse your space from negative energies. You can check out all the magical wares available at for these different practices we all love and enjoy at Cauldron and Thorne, 2724 West 8th Street, or online at cauldronandthorne.com.
This week, we have an incredible guest for you.
Yeah, so the cool thing about these lights is that I can change them all from my phone. I've used them for my friend's maternity photo shoot to do the light painting. I don't know if you checked any of that out. I know you do. You know all about exposure photography, but I can change the colors of these lights from my phone here.
I think I did see those shots. You had rod lights.
Yeah,
You were
waving them around in the background. Yeah, for sure, it was cool.
like Star Wars kid, old school internet meme.
Oh yeah, just like that. I wish I actually had the skills of Star Wars kid to be able to shoot that kind of photography.
You will one day.
Someday, yeah. But there are people online that are doing insane stuff with it, doing all sorts of really elaborate drawings and Christmas themes and all sorts of ridiculous things with light photography that hopefully someday I'll get to that level. But for right now, I don't even have half the stuff I would need for that.
Yeah, I saw some guy. He was doing skeleton drawings.
Yeah,
maybe I follow him on Instagram or something.
Yeah, I think that's the same guy. I think it starts with a D, maybe. His name.
I have no idea.
But he does he uses little colored LED lights to draw skeletons or Santa Claus or whatever it is that he's drawing out there, and they end up turning out really cool. And he does it like a million times too. So he'll take like a million long shot photography like pictures or long exposure pictures, and then blend them into like a video of like these light drawing paintings, like moving around and dancing and doing tricks and stuff.
Yeah, skateboarding.
Yeah, absolutely. He's insane. That has to be like a whole day long process. I don't even want to think about it.
I haven't done a lot with light drawing, but like early on, I would like just do like lighting with a flashlight, and just kind of get all these different like angles. So it was like a weird. You weren't quite sure like how the lighting was, but it was because I just like kept it open for like 5-10 seconds and just like
Moved everything
kind of like
around.
almost lighting or painting with the light.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean that's what I've seen it referred to always as light painting.
Yeah, but that was like in pandemic time when I had a lot of time. So
Right.
and I was just getting into like photography, so
For sure.
that was like a good time to experiment.
Definitely. And it just
Am I loud? Am I loud enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
I think so. I'm gonna lower this down a little bit for you though, so you can be a little bit more comfy here. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. We'll chop that out anyway.
That's all right.
Maybe we'll chop it out. We'll see how ambitious or how good of my memory is when it comes time to editing.
It's part of
Isn't that
the.
Snip.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna stay. It's part of the natural.
It is
feel
part of the
to
natural
show.
feel. Yeah, exactly. We
Right.
don't like to like chop things up a whole lot, but it does happen from time to time.
There we go. I had a loose cable there.
Oh
All
yeah,
sorts of crazy stuff.
that's right. We're all
Yeah.
it's all brand new, you know.
Dude, I got some pizzelles
Whoa.
for the holiday season.
Yeah, you came in like fully stocked and ready to go. I feel like I messed up by not having all my Christmas gear. I don't really have any. Well, I got some ugly Christmas sweaters. I should say that.
I was just kind of like a little anxious, so I was kind of like just compensating.
Smart.
You know,
Absolutely. I was just thinking the other day that last week we've done like a number of Christmas song parodies, and I was thinking like all we have is like this weekend, because right now we're recording this before Christmas,
Right.
And this weekend's like my only option to record a weird Christmas song like we have in the past.
Yeah, it's crunch time.
Right. I want to keep that tradition alive because it was really fun last time.
you got any plans? A specific song?
Not well, actually, I was thinking about doing "Baby It's Cold Outside."
Oh yeah.
Except we'll do like a consent one, or one that's like a little bit more
Up with the times.
up with the times or modern or whatever, where the girl's a little bit more aggressive in her no's or in her refusals rather than the somewhat passive version now.
Yeah, it's a strange song.
It is a strange
That's for
song.
sure.
It's a different time.
It is a different time. I mean, I feel like it was always pretty creepy, or always kind of creepy, but especially recently, it's really come to the forefront more about the level of creepiness to that song.
I think you could do it the other way, where the guy is like trying to like be very specifically like, it's very cold out and I don't want anything to do with you in like a bad way, but like you should
Let's
probably
keep you
not.
safe.
We should keep you safe. You know, I think that could be funny too.
Yeah,
Or like flip it. It's like, baby, please go.
yeah.
Baby,
Well,
please go.
Yeah.
But she's like, "Baby, it's cold outside."
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
you really can't stay.
No, seriously.
It's like, no, it's cold outside.
You should really
I'll
go.
call a car to take you away. But baby, it's cold outside. That would be fun. I think that's a good one to meme about these days.
It's definitely one of the more talk. Although, you know what? It got what's that song that Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree? I saw like supplanted Mariah Carey this year
As the number one Christmas
as the
song.
number one Christmas song. But it's so interesting how like internet culture works, because I fully believe that it rocketed to number one because like they're like, this isn't a 60-year-old that sings this. It was a 13-year-old at the time. And like, if you listen to Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, like you're like, there's no way that's like just barely a teenager. It sounds like a full-grown
like
woman.
the classic recording.
The classic recording, yeah, that's what I'm
Okay.
talking. That went up to number one this year because everyone was like, "Oh my god, this girl was 13 when she sang it."
I bet someone like bought the rights to it and like marketed it. And
Yeah, somebody,
You know,
some
that
TikTok,
can't be organic. You
some
can't take
TikTok
out Mariah.
algorithm was working overtime to put that song to number one. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and it's still just barely past the Goliath that Mariah carries. What the fuck's the name of that song? I'm so glad I don't know. Yeah, thank you.
Christmas is you.
Yeah,
baby.
I think I've blocked out the name of that song just because,
I
like,
think it's All I Want for Christmas, or I don't know what it's called either, really. I don't listen to it. I mean, I don't.
oh, you can't help but not hear at least a snippet of it this time of year. Like, it's unavoidable.
I don't
really.
know.
It's true.
I did all of my shopping online. I haven't really been anywhere that's playing Christmas music. I'm not listening to it myself personally, so
And it just got brought up still.
yeah, exactly. I guess I did listen to it technically. It's still here.
Favorite Christmas song, anyone?
Oh man,
Oh, is this it?
you got that?
This is, yeah, I should be able to get this.
Right.
It's kind of my job.
Yeah.
Favorite Christmas song? That's a good question. It's not the happiest one, but my favorite one's always been "Happy Christmas, War is Over," John Lennon.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of The Night That Santa Went Crazy.
I don't think I know that
No,
song.
I don't
The
know.
night that Santa went crazy.
That doesn't.
The
I
night
still
that
don't know it.
Santa went nuts. I'll have to play it for you guys after the show. But it's all about Santa and him like cooking the reindeer and going crazy and killing Mrs. Claus and all of these other things. And I think that's probably my number one Christmas song.
So, what's your favorite?
It's like that movie. What's that one movie where the guy he's wearing the dress shirt and he's got the tie and he's kind of like going around town.
Oh
He's
yeah,
kinda, like, lost.
American Psycho.
American Psycho. Yeah.
Yeah, except Santa version.
Yeah. Christmas.
I was gonna say Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Yeah.
I was just listening to somebody talk today about how Die Hard is actually, according to like certain metrics and measurements and stuff, a very Christmassy Christmas movie.
Yes.
I try to get Celinda to watch that with me because she always wants to watch Christmas movies, and I'm like, okay, let's put on Die Hard, and she very adamantly disagrees with me that it is a Christmas movie.
I mean, it's literally going on during a Christmas party. How is it not a Christmas movie? Spoilers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 20 or 30-year-old movie.
Yeah. I think my song would be "Christmas Time Is Here," but like the instrumental version
Oh, okay.
Okay.
from Charlie Brown.
There you go. That's a classic one. I feel like there's a lot of lo-fi Christmas. I enjoy that kind of stuff too.
Oh yeah.
Like lo-fi Christmas and all the weird YouTube channels that are just like fireplaces going with classical Christmas music in the background and stuff. Those are real nice too.
I like the old crooners, like a good classic, like Bing Crosby version of Silver Bells. Really, just
Yeah.
kind of hits home this time of year.
Silver bells. I think that what's that band, the Pentatonics or whatever? They do some really great Christmas renditions too. They do like all a cappella type stuff, and they make some really interesting, cool Christmassy stuff with just their voices. That was like kind of our inspiration when we did our Christmas song last year. Barry, did you know? If you guys haven't listened to it yet, it's on YouTube. It's very inappropriate, so if you're easily offended, I would stay away. But it was really fun. I don't think it's that bad, really. I mean, it's still on YouTube. They haven't banned us for it.
No, I personally wasn't involved with that one. But
You didn't help us write that song?
No.
Okay,
I
that
think
was
you-
just all me, Matt, and Danielle.
Yeah, I think you guys did it while I was by the cover of Night.
Yeah, sneakily in one day, wrote the song, recorded it that same day.
You were like, check out this banger, and I was like, well, I do like the humor in it, but I can't claim any part of it. So
Yeah, it's kind of inappropriate, but it's an enjoyable experience. Those parodies are fun. Dave,
Yes.
your concert series, man,
What about it?
is amazing, dude.
yes, it is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's so good. It's like my studio, my life goals. Like, you know how they have like goals or whatever. When you see something nice, you're like, oh, that's goals. And I'm like, oh, Dave's concert series is like the Treehouse concert series goals version.
Right. I was thinking maybe we could like help each other out because like I don't want to do it in the summer
Yeah.
because the room we use doesn't have air conditioning.
Ooh, yeah.
You know. Plus, it's just nice to take a break. But you do your show
Right.
in the summer, so like
Swap back and forth. I don't do like a full
Yeah.
concert like you do, though. I just do like one song.
yeah, it's true.
But I mean, we could do something like that, kind of team up or do some interesting collaboration stuff. I'd be totally down with that. And maybe do something a little longer. Usually it's the reason that I've kept it to one song is because I want to keep that quality really high, and I don't want to blow anybody's spot up, but usually those are a couple takes. They're not completely live.
What?
Yeah, sorry. No, they're it's like one take all the way through, but we might run it like 2 or 3 times and pick out the best version.
Or you have like certain situations where we are in the middle of the city, so
Yeah,
those
a
pesky
car,
neighbors
or
are
somebody will be
mowing
playing
their
the lawn,
lawns.
like the lawn. Somebody will be cutting the grass, or somebody will be playing their music really loud outside. And we'll have to take a break. So
Or somebody's
Right.
dog decides that there's a squirrel that they really like, and just start barking.
I don't think there was a single episode of that concert series that did not have at least like a little bit of a dog barking in it somewhere.
Yeah.
Well,
And
that's
if
the
you listen
ambience.
careful-
You need that. Some birds.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the
dogs,
birds are
yeah.
welcome.
Welcome
the-
participants. That's part of the music,
I think the
Yeah,
only
yeah.
ones that really, it's like, okay, we got to do this again. This is your end. You're the one who's the mastermind of it. Is the lawnmowers.
Yeah, the lawnmower really doesn't do the music much favors.
I was playing guitar once, and the mower was it was an A. I was like, tuning the guitar. I was like, that's totally an A.
That the lawnmower sound.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm.
I don't know. For the most part, we only had a few occasions where the lawnmower was going hard, but it's definitely not ideal for a lot of high quality recording and other things. But it was a fun series. I'm looking forward to doing it again this year. I'm like kind of worried actually that I'm not going to have as much time to put into it because we're going to be filming this movie or the short film that we're doing this spring, and I just think it might take a backseat. I'm kind of hoping we can film the short film before the leaves get on the trees. That way, because my treehouse looks like shit when there's no leaves on the trees. You
yeah.
just see like my neighbors' backyards and stuff, and nobody wants to look at that.
No, although I do think we haven't quite had one of these. Well, I guess we've had one. I still thought it would be cool to do at least one
Winter?
with like the snow, because I think it would look cool with the snow, but with just leaves and just barren, dark, gray, eerie, it doesn't look super great.
Do it in
Yeah.
black and white. you
Yeah.
know, make it artistic.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Black and white, do a little bit of color editing.
Wear
and stuff.
gloves. You know.
Mm-hmm. And get some more strange lights going. Now that I have more lights and things. If you guys can't tell, this is our first episode with my new lights all over the place. Let us know what you think. Dave's a little extra blue. Maybe we'll turn that down next time. Maybe we won't. Anything can happen. It's all a mystery. We're just gonna keep figuring it out.
Yeah, blue LEDs in video, man. I don't know, like cameras, they just go nuts.
Yeah,
The LED lighting.
it does, and maybe I'll tone that down in post a little bit so it's not quite so blue. But I also feel like where it's positioned, it's kind of only like on certain spots of us, which look kind of neat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for you guys, like, unless I do this, then it's
Then you're completely basked in the blue.
Blue Man Group.
Maybe I need to move it. Can you put it back a little bit?
There it is.
Now we can see you,
Now you can see me.
and you can't bask in it. But we still got a little bit of glare on our hair.
We're trying new things.
Yeah, we're checking it out. It's
Yeah,
a
you
work
want a
in
little
progress.
like backlighting. You want the little, accent.
Glow, you
Gives
know what I
a little
mean?
Contour, edge.
It's nice too, and when that happens by accident, when I'm taking pictures, it's like the best thing ever. I just love that when somebody has like a nice glow around them from side lighting, from wherever it came from, the sun or a reflection or something. It's just it just makes people look so cool.
Yeah.
Like
Big fan of it. I hate when I don't have some kind of accent light,
Right.
photographing a person.
You also can't go too hard though.
Oh, it's very easy to go too hard too.
Yeah.
And it's just like blown out, like
Super bright red, green, whatever color spot somewhere on their body or on their hair. Usually hair's pretty reflective, so that's where it gets all messed up. But it's an art. I mean, that's why what we're doing is art. You know what I mean? It takes practice, and you have to key into that and figure it out and mess up a lot.
Oh, mess up all the time. I mess up everything I do. I mess up
You can't.
At least a little bit, right?
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're like, even if you're extremely, extremely talented at whatever you do, like you gotta fail to succeed.
Right. And
Oh,
keep
for
going.
sure. I mean-
Persevere.
If you're not failing, you ain't trying.
You're not trying hard enough.
Nope.
Or you're not trying something new, you know what I mean? You're not getting unique or original or whatever it is that you're doing. You're not trying hard enough.
You did some super cool, a whole slew of cool photography in New York.
Oh yeah, I was there in May of this year for a whole month. I had a friend who needed me to house sit.
Nice.
So I was like,
Score. Yeah.
a month in New York City, like, stay for free. So yeah, definitely. And I even like, I took the last weekend off of the production at PACA. I got someone to cover for me, which I never, ever do.
Production of your concert series or?
The theater.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't even know how it went. I wasn't too concerned.
Yeah, right?
No, it was like last weekend, and I definitely wanted to get as much time there as possible.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
With an opportunity like that, like you kind of make some concessions
Yeah.
Right.
in other areas.
Yeah, took the train out there. I was like, do I drive? Because maybe I want to like go somewhere else, or no. Just take the train, got the subway, all you can ride pass, and
Cool.
I had no agenda while I was there. It was kind of like it's funny. I kind of prepped a little bit playing Zelda Breath of the Wild.
There you go.
Because it's like open world. And so I was like, I'm going to get in like open world mode. Like,
Exploration mode.
Exploration mode. He's even got like a tablet and like you can take like photos in
Right.
the game, So yeah, it's like a real world open world.
Exploration game. That's an interesting strategy to go with an open world exploration game like Zelda to kind of train up to get out to New York City.
Yeah, you bring up your map, you
Yeah.
figure out where you're going to go. and-
Learn how to navigate, see different things. Personally, I have not ridden the subway in New York City yet. I feel like the only time I was ever there, I was too intimidated to give it a shot.
I rode it once. I've been there twice. I rode it once, but the one time I rode it, I was there with a good friend who was like very attuned with public transportation in big cities. So he was just like, he didn't even need like an app. He was just like, I can read the rail lines. Just follow me. And that made it a lot easier.
Oh yeah, it's definitely it's a learning curve, trying to figure it out on your own. And I've been there a couple times in my life, but that was I was trying to figure out why it tripped me out so much that time that I was there, and it was the only time I've been there like on my own. I've always gone like, with the band or just the band, I guess, or like with friends, but like I was just all alone. Like my friends that were there were out of town, so
Right.
That's crazy to be like,
Solo adventuring New York City.
well, yeah, just like I was thinking, like, solo adventuring is its own experience regardless, but like you're somewhere where like with all the boroughs combined, what is it, like 12, 15, 16 million people?
it's a lot. That was it was kind of had a little bit like existential like crisis, not crisis, but like I was very like just blown. Well, it took me a few days just to get used to like the amount of people. My dumbass like went to like Times Square maybe the second day I was there.
That's a
Like,
lot.
Terrible mistake. Like, cause I was still like getting used to it. Someone like swindled me out of $5 for like for a demo. It was
Yeah.
like, it was like
yeah.
a hip
He's
hop
like,
guy.
dude, do you like rap music?
He's like, hey man, here, and they just
They hand it to you and they're
the
like,
thing
oh,
they
thanks.
do is they hand it to you and they put it in your hand and then they want your money, and you already have it. So there's like there's like monks who hand out necklaces
And books.
and they'll just like put them around you, and then you're like, oh well, and then it's like, oh, that's $5. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
It's
And
one,
then you succumb to the social pressures of having the thing already on you. You have to give them the $5.
it's funny that
Right, and they team, it's just not one guy, and then like two other guys.
Yeah, they'll
and then
like
you're
appear and they're all looking at you and you're like, oh shit.
It's funny that that's just a system that just still works like that. Because I was there in 2017. I was in Times Square. And these two dudes walk up to me and they both got their CDs. And like you said, the one hands me the demo and he's like $5 donation, but you don't gotta give anything. So I was like, all I got's a 10. He's like, that works,
Yeah, right.
And then
Thank you.
the other dude hands me his CD and I was like, all right, cool. And he was like, donation. I was like, well, I just gave him a 10. That pays for both of them. He's like, nah, that don't work like that. That's his. This is mine. And I was like, oh well, I don't have any more money, and he took the disc back. I thought it was a donation,
Right.
Like it was
I
just-
tried telling them I had no money, and they were like, and I was like, oh, it's like, here's $2. I was like, okay, here's $2. I had like two singles, like convenient. And they're like, nah, it's $5. I'm like, okay, like, then I'm like, bring out my cash. And I'm like holding my cash. It's like a whole bunch of people, and like,
The audacity.
Not that I had a whole bunch of cash on me, because that would just be dumb.
Right.
Yeah.
The audacity of.
Although I had like my camera and gear, so
If they really wanted some money, they could take that for sure.
I feel
it'd
like-
be hard to do that in Times Square though. There's a ton of people.
There's a ton of cops there too.
I will say I was impressed by the photographers in Times Square. There's like a whole like squad of them, and they'll wear like a tablet. They wear a tablet around their neck that has all these like example photos,
Right.
and then they know all the like angles and like where to stand. Like, you know, the traffic will like change, and then they put the model, whoever's like paying. They're like, all right, stand there in the middle of the road, and they like know exactly where to go to like get the shots, and like lighting off of the
buildings and stuff
the
like
signs and
right.
stuff. Yeah, so
It's definitely a practice thing for those guys. I'm sure they've done that like 1,000 times, like
Yeah,
just
there's-
that day.
and there was definitely like the leader guy, and then there was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 people
Minions?
that looked like they were working for him, but they weren't quite as like smooth and you know.
So when you were going out there, did you plan to take all of these like long exposure shots? Like was that your thing that you were going to do out there, or was that just what ended up coming up a lot in the gallery, or what you liked best?
Did I have a lot of long? Well, like with anything city nighttime, it's like it's kind of a given to like do some long exposure. One, because it's dark,
Right.
So you
You kind of have to.
You kind of have to, and then you got like traffic, you know, blurs and stuff. I found the best thing with like traffic headlight blurring is if you can get a car to like stop. Because then you get like a clear shot of like a car, but with also the like, you know, and it gives us some like context.
Right.
And I did like there was one day I just set out with the mission to get this like specific subway shot, and I found one of the cool things about it was that I could just, you know, ride around on the subway and like look for cool spots, be able to like go back to them.
Sure.
Maybe like different time of day, different lighting. But there was this one subway, and they had all these signs talking about the font that they used. There was at one point they like, not solidified, but you know, they made all the fonts the same. It's
Right.
Helvetica, by the way.
Good branding of New York City.
Yes, yes. All because the J has a nice curve to a very distinct. Like you look at that and you go, "That's a J."
Yeah.
Like there's no confusion.
No other options.
You know.
There's a lot of science that goes into fonts.
Yes.
Is what I've realized. Oh, since I've started doing all the graphics and all this stuff right here, like the sans, the no sans, I don't know. There's just a lot of things that really go into a
curvy or-
good font. Yeah.
Curvy
Oh, yeah,
or
there's-
And the
pointed.
little doodads that stick off the ends of like if you have like an M at the bottom, it'd have like little doodads at the bottom of each thing.
Well, that's a serif.
That's
right?
a
That's a
serif.
serif, yeah.
Like serif and sans serif, and what that means and what emotionally those evoke to you. Because if you have the serifs, the little doodads, that's supposed to be more formal and more professional. And with sans serif, which is what Helvetica is, it's supposed to be more inviting and more comfortable and more natural.
I think the serifs serve as a readability thing where it's better for long things of text, because like the serifs almost kind of like direct you to the next thing, whereas like sans serif is better for like big single words,
Right.
signs, stuff like that.
Something that you're going to put up real bold and flashy to get everybody's attention, maybe like a one-word thing.
Although Comic Sans, the font that everyone hates,
Right. At least
Actually-
all of my professors. I personally never had anything against it, but professors absolutely would pitch a fucking fit.
It was an early font and it was totally overused, but it actually has a weird, like, very good readability to it for people with dyslexia, because the letters aren't like geometrically like even. They kind of got like little slants and stuff to them, so
Sure.
like the D's and the B's look, you know, a little more different.
That's interesting. I never noticed that, but that makes sense for sure because I do that. I have like a hard time counting letters. Like if there's two M's next to each other, I'm like, oh, is that 2? Is that 3? Is that 1,000?
I know when I went to school for English, that's what I got my degree in, and I can tell you that at least in the recent history that English professors accept 2 forms of font that you can use. almost exclusively, and it's Times New Roman or Garamond.
Garamond?
Garamond is like a very novel type text that's used, and
I've used that.
they say that the English professors that I had they were just all about Garamond. It was good stuff.
We like all of my emails and stuff at work were automatically set up to be Cambria.
Coheed.
No, Cambria. Like that was the font was
Oh,
Cambria.
that's the new default Windows Microsoft Word font. Yeah, they changed it a while ago, and of course some nerds like freaked out because
It bothers me personally.
because it's sans serif,
Right.
the default font
Instead of Times New Roman, which has serifs.
in like a word processing. That's just heretic.
Heresy for sure.
Heresy. There you go.
Yeah. No, I switched them all. I changed it to Times New Roman because I don't know, I felt weird about it all being Cambria.
My grandpappy used Times News Roman.
Right, exactly.
I'm gonna use Times News Roman.
It's a legacy, really. It's a legacy. It's a legacy font.
Right, yeah.
That's always new. It's always new. Times
Always new.
Times
New
new.
times.
They don't call it times old.
You're goddamn right.
You goddamn right. So, before you went to New York, you said that, when you were there, you were like, oh, that's cool. Maybe I'll take a picture now, go back to it, whatever. Were there things before you went to New York that you were like, I'm absolutely photographing this when I get there?
No, I really had
Really?
no specific.
Not the Brooklyn Bridge or the...
I guess, yeah. They're like, yeah. I wasn't really looking to get the cliche shots, although
Right.
I got some of those just because, when in
Yeah, you can't go there and
New
not...
York,
Yeah.
I'll say when in Rome, but when in New York.
You take a picture of the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah.
Like the
Mandatory.
Statue of Liberty or something.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't really get a good shot of the Statue of Liberty. It's actually it's oddly like small, or it's smaller than you think. But I don't know if that's like just because it's from a distance.
Yeah, I didn't
one
go...
of those things.
We
but-
didn't go out to see the Statue of Liberty. We saw it from like the edge of Manhattan or whatever, and you could like barely see it.
I actually had this really crazy harebrained idea, and thankfully I didn't do it. But it was like one of the first few days I was there, and I happened to notice, be like, oh, it's a full moon. I'm gonna check out, what angle the moon's gonna rise and stuff. And I was like, I wonder if I can get Statue of Liberty with the full moon. And I was trying to figure it out, and it would have to be like that night, and I was still getting used to getting around. And,
Sure.
And it ended up being I would have to take an Uber to do it because I'd have to go to Jersey to get the shot. And the Uber back and forth, I don't know, it was $200 or something.
Yeah.
I was like, it's all right.
Uber drivers are terrifying in New York, too.
I just Googled, I took one Uber, but I just Googled photos of the moon and the Statue of Liberty, and I was like, okay, that's,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be worth the effort.
And the money to make the trip, and the broken fingernails from death gripping the arms of the chair. I don't know about your Uber drive, but mine was it was insane. It was crazy. Both of my Uber rides in New York City, these people were just incredible. They're like robot machine race car drivers.
It's intense. I took one Uber. I basically what gave me comfort was going out exploring, taking the subway, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna miss the subway, or miss the bus or whatever. It was back in my pocket, I got Uber just in case,
right?
And I only had to do it once. It was late. It was 2 or 3 in the morning. I missed the bus. Another bus wasn't gonna come for an hour. I was wasn't quite sure where I was, and so
Went with the Uber.
Just made it back.
Was it scary?
I didn't try not to think about
Try
it.
not to pay attention.
I mean, the ride was smooth. I forget what kind of car it was, but it was just really smooth and leather chairs.
Right. Yeah, mine was in a van, and I couldn't help but watch them weave in and out of traffic like a madman.
Well, you have to drive like that there.
You have to.
You absolutely have to. You will get more people. I've never driven there, but you'll get so many people pissed at you if you're not driving like that.
you have to. People are like, oh, New York City, it's rude, and I'm like, it's almost rude to not be rude. It's people are just trying to walk
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm walking here, which I never heard once while I
Really?
was there, you know. But it's just like, yeah, it's like people are just moving along, like they don't got
time for your bullshit.
Yeah, you
They
know?
got big fucking New York shit to do.
Well, and the second that you don't like make the most impossible looking merge with the least amount of room, you're immediately getting honked at. Like,
Yeah.
come on, dude, hurry up, you know?
Yeah.
Don't you know how to do a zipper or whatever the fuck? Like, blend the lanes together.
merge?
Yeah, zip merge. Come on, get your shit together.
It's a fun place.
I mean, it is a fun place and it's a beautiful place, and I definitely want to go back there at some point.
They say it's the greatest city in the world,
That's what I hear.
but that's just good marketing.
That is good marketing. That's why they all have the same fonts now in their subways too.
Good
Proper marketing, good branding.
That's a font's so important to branding.
Yeah,
It really is.
I was gonna use Helvetica for like signage for my art show, and I don't own any Macs, and so like you have to like
Is it only on Macs?
it's only on Macs. You have to like buy it if you don't have a Mac.
What? Like a font package for my Microsoft Word because I can't use Helvetica?
It's what separates it. It makes the Mac users happy. You know, they feel like they got something special.
I'm mad about that now that New York would choose an Apple brand font over a Microsoft or a standard pedestrian font like a normal peasant would use like me.
Yeah, they probably got paid. That whole J story about the J, that's probably just bullshit.
Yeah. Well, Steve Jobs was known for his style and his design and stuff, so I'm sure there's some sort of ridiculous story about every letter that is in on Apple, whatever the fuck they use, word processor. I don't know what it's called even.
I think if they really wanted to stand out, they should have switched to wingdings.
That would have been an interesting choice of fonts for
Like
sure.
that's obviously a J there. Like it's a butterfly. Yeah, it does, dumbass. Like
I don't even think that's like that isn't readable.
I think Wingdings was before its time. I mean, because everyone uses like emojis and stuff now.
Sure.
And like, what was that? Wingdings. What were they doing there? nobody was talking in emojis, and I don't understand that. People converse through emoji. I don't know.
I do a little bit, but not. I couldn't like.
People would like tell stories. And
Sometimes I like to write like really weird emojis. Like I'll just put them. I'll put like somebody will like say something in text or whatever, and I'll just respond with a series of animal emojis, and then I don't know. I guess it's up to them to interpret what that means at that point.
suppose. I mean, the preemptive text I've noticed, because I just recently, like, while I was in New York, I got a new cell phone because my cell phone was like 7 years old. So I finally get like a relatively new phone. And there's like, I'm like, oh, okay, now I get what's going on here.
Right.
I had an old phone, but like, the preemptive text would have like, it has like, you read a word and like, it's like, do you want to use emoji instead? I'm like,
Oh yeah. Okay.
maybe this is the puzzle piece I was missing here.
Right.
Like why all of a sudden? But it's like, because the phone's like, use a picture of a cow. You're saying the word cow? Just use a cow.
See, I'm making a change in my life personally. I just realized this today that I'm not going to use face emojis anymore. That I'm actually going to go back to making like ASCII art emojis,
yes.
like colon and parentheses to make a smiley face, or semicolon and parentheses to make
Or
like a
like
winky face.
XD.
Oh,
for-
yeah.
For like laughing.
Yeah, exactly. XD and like
I don't think that one.
colon P.
Some of them though, they like update. You try to do that, and then they just put the emoji.
automatically.
I refuse to allow that to happen. I
What about-
switch it back?
What about like if you're doing like the smiley face, but instead of just like the the colon and the parentheses, you make the circle with like really get into it. You
Like
know,
a full like long multi-line thing of an emoji.
I mean, if you're gonna go hard, you got to go hard,
Oh,
man.
that's so much work though. That's so much more work than just a semicolon and a parenthesis.
Yeah, but what makes the greats? It's that hard work, dude.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
just
That's
talking
true.
about that.
It's very true. Maybe I'll make like a series of them and I'll save them on like a notepad so that way I can just copy and paste them in whenever I need to.
I mean, you could get so good at it
that I
that
could
we
just
could
make it real fast.
we could call Guinness and just be like,
I'm the fastest ASCII art face maker on planet Earth, you motherfuckers.
Well, they used to have like the ASCII art like generators where you could like submit a JPEG
Oh,
image,
yeah.
and then did I just
Oh, did you just ruin my thing?
no.
No, it's okay.
no?
Maybe.
I think I did.
Uh-oh. We'll pause it real quick.
Because I was talking about a subway station.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Oh,
my
we were
whole-
doing wingdings, and I
We're
was
doing
going to join
wingdings.
the Guinness Book of World Records.
And the
Yeah.
fun fact about that is, in this little technical delay, he's figured out how to do it
Yeah.
in the fastest time possible. And he even got time to eat a fucking pizzelle afterwards.
That's right.
But anyways,
Look out for my Guinness Book of World Records attempt in the not too distant future. You guys are gonna love it. Man, we got Digg It Dave a new microphone.
Yeah, new microphone stand.
New microphone
I
stand.
just broke it.
Destroyed my other one. He actually in the interlude there he completely picked it up and did like the WWE backbreaker to it and shattered the metal into 1,000 pieces. It was very impressive. Feat of strength.
Too much whipped cream. I forgot. I forgot it has that effect on me. Too much.
It's like Popeye and spinach, you'd say.
Yeah.
I remember when I first saw wingdings in like second or third grade when we were like learning how to do computers and stuff, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? Is this how aliens talk to each other with fucking wingdings here? What's going on?"
it's
It was startling.
it's good
to a
if
young
you-
lad.
it's a good. We're back in the fonts, but it's
No,
good.
we're not. We're staying here the rest of the
We're
show.
staying here. This show is about
Fonts.
This show is brought to you by fonts. Put fonts in there when I do that. It's good if you like decoding stuff, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why else you would use wingdings and
real
besides
life?
just like a joke. Like,
Yeah, if I'm just trying to make somebody laugh, I'll just send them a letter completely in wingdings.
I would guess it's probably like from word processors that couldn't handle images at the time, like early 90s, maybe late 80s.
When you want to send like a little picture of a plane or whatever, so you use wingdings and you press the W key and bam, you got a plane.
Before clip art, you know, the lost art of clip art.
Maybe I need to start incorporating that into my ASCII art emojis.
I think you should,
Yeah,
but you gotta do it yourself.
I'm gonna bring it back. I'm bringing back ASCII art.
Well, he's doing it.
Watch out, people.
You got
Actually-
ASCII video, they have that too.
Ooh,
Wow,
ooh.
impressive.
It's nuts.
What about ASCII Braille?
Oh,
I don't know either.
You'd have to
I'm
ask
just
a
I'm
blind
just
person.
spitballing. I don't know. I'm not.
you probably just insulted a whole group of people.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. Well, it's tough to sell. I'm just trying to think of different things we could do. So, if you,
In regards to ASCII art.
yeah,
Okay.
just different versions of it. No,
I feel like the new modern version of ASCII art is like when you take like 1,000,000 pictures and you turn it into something else,
like a collage.
like a collage.
Oh yeah, yeah, those are generated. I thought those were like someone like handpicked all the images.
I was just thinking about doing that today.
Or like a mural, not a collage. Right, like a mural. You little images that make up the bigger image.
You could do ASCII graffiti.
That's true.
Put a bunch of stars all around
It's a little
them.
twist.
Yeah, I want to do get really big on guerrilla graffiti. I'm gonna get some everything at once stickers, and I'm just gonna smash them all over everywhere in the city of Erie. What do you think? Good idea? Bad idea?
I would do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea too.
I don't know
A
the
little bit of guerrilla marketing.
specifics on
Having my own brand name probably is not the smartest thing to use to vandalize all sorts of city property, though.
I feel like it's very easily traceable, especially since you just said this and we're gonna put this out.
Do you think they'd come for me?
I don't know.
That's the real question, though, because hopefully everybody recognizes it or sees it and are like, oh, what the fuck is everything at once? But will the police show up at my house and arrest me for it? That's the important question.
They can't arrest everything at once.
They can't.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
They only have so much manpower.
But you could get a fine.
I might get a fine. I don't have any money either. So it.
I think telephone poles are like fair game.
telephone poles are definitely safe, I think.
Or what about under bridges?
What about gas pumps? Everybody hates them anyway, so.
No, that one I think you'd get in the most hot water because
The
that's
most trouble.
no, maybe not the most, but that's private property.
You could get a sticker of the two of you like pointing and then be like, "We did that."
to the gas prices, nobody's gonna want to watch our show then. They'll think maybe they will actually want to watch our show then because they're like, who are these pieces of shit that are raising the gas prices?
Or no,
out there?
or
Make it a call-in show and you just get people angry.
That would
at
be
you.
so cool.
Or
We
we-
go live every now and then and have everybody calling and complain to us, and we could tell them that they're wrong, Dave. That'd be awesome.
that'd be true. I like doing that kind of stuff. Or we
I
could
love
do like the spray paint anywhere, and then have the sticker of us as we did that, and put it next to the paint.
Yeah.
The spray painting, so like for sure who to send the fine to. I think it's a good idea.
Maybe we just don't do any sort of contact information on it, and then make it like a mystery Easter egg hunt. Like we just put everything at once on there, like the normal logo sticker, and we'll stick that on there, and it'll have no contact information.
Are
People have
you
to find
are
us.
you Banksy?
I went to. I can neither confirm nor deny that at this time.
Excellent.
Actually,
Great.
Yeah. You know what I think Erie needs is like one of those areas in like the downtown where it's just like they have them in bigger cities where people just slap up stickers
yeah.
for like bands or like different initiatives. Those are pretty cool. I always like seeing those kind of things.
It would be cool too if they did some sort of like graffiti collaboration too. Like they just put up a giant brick wall somewhere in Perry Square and just let people paint it.
Just like anybody, not like a paid artist.
Yeah.
That could get dicey, but
There's a place in like Brooklyn. It's called the Bushwick Collective, which I thought was like a building or something, but apparently it's just like it's a bunch of like I don't know, like old factory buildings, that kind of like area, but like they have, I guess, it's like an art gallery essentially, just of wall murals,
Cool.
and that's the collective.
That's the collective.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely one way to do it. I feel like it would have to be active enough that way if anybody's writing profane things or doing anything vulgar on there, it gets covered up quick by the next person who's trying to make it.
Well, I think it's like you have to like be like, hey, you have to like get a spot. You
Yeah.
can't just like go up there and paint. I guess you could, but
No,
That's
I kind of like that. Just everybody painting over each other, and nothing really lasts forever, and nothing's
a-
permanent on it. It all just disappears over time.
that's that Reddit thing that they do every year. You know what I'm talking about? Every year they put up like on Reddit, it's that it's just that big rectangle and people just like fill in each individual. You know what I'm talking about?
I've seen those I've seen where they like sell pixel space.
Yeah, or you can do like one for free, but you only get to switch one pixel like every 5 minutes. And then they do it for like a month or 2 or 3 weeks. And then at the end of it, you can watch a video of how it transformed from beginning
That'd
to
be
end.
cool.
It's pretty dope. It's exactly what you're talking about, just in a digital space.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. And then there's a security camera set up somewhere, and then you just run it at like 500 times normal speed, and just people are just like appearing, and then there's things appearing and stuff and going away. That'd be awesome.
I think that'd be a super dope art project. Like, but you'd have to find a way to like, I don't know. The thing that's nice about the Reddit one or makes it work is like you can't just like bombard an area. Like you get your thing, then you gotta wait, then you put a thing, so you can't just like totally monopolize.
Just spam it.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know. I feel like it all depends on how ambitious the person is. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you could cover it, but it's probably going to get covered again.
I don't think anyone on Reddit would spam anything.
No, those are
No,
upstanding.
that's-
Upstanding
Fine
internet
citizens.
users. Yes.
Exactly.
So I think
only
we-
the best of
So
human beings.
Let's do a collective initiative here. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get a wall.
Okay.
We're gonna get.
You're gonna build a wall?
We're gonna
If
build.
we have to.
rhetoric watch here. I'm gonna build a wall. It's gonna be the best wall ever. It's the bigliest wall in history.
Gonna be the best wall.
Best wall is gonna keep everyone out. No, and so we get a wall. We find a wall space. We get a bunch of spray paint. This is gonna cost us money unless we can get ourselves a grant. But we get a bunch of spray paint, and people can come up one spray at a time, over and over again until like things are created, and then you can go over and this and that and see what happens.
I went to a place in Austin when we were there where they did that, except with pieces of tape, and the tape couldn't go over other pieces of tape. So it was like a rule you had to follow. You know what I mean? And then I guess they take a picture at the end or whatever. And
Do you get a fixed size of tape?
no, you get a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch of different pieces of tape, and they're all different colors and stuff like that. And you just you rip it to whatever size, and you find a good spot for it, and you stick it on the wall.
I think that kind of stuff is definitely neat.
I feel like to enforce rules like that at our wall or at the Everything at Once wall, we're not going to be able to enforce one swipe. People are just going to break that. They're just going to paint it.
Well,
You're gonna paint everything.
Yeah, exactly.
At
Well,
once.
maybe not everything, but like definitely more than just one swipe.
You just don't paint everything at once.
well,
By Everything at Once.
I think that you discredit the paramount, like, powerful effect that setting rules in place has on the majority of people. It's why things like the tape
Not
thing
graffiti
work.
artists though. They're already out there trying to break rules.
Yeah, but it's not like if we're calling like graffiti artists to do it, it would be one thing. But if it was something that was open to the public, yeah, you would have people like you wrote the paper about it in college about like the tower. You know, when people believe
Oh
they're
yeah,
being
that paper
observed.
that I wrote.
Yeah, that paper that you wrote. But anyways,
Funny inside story.
Funny
That's how I
inside
got
story.
Dave to come to college.
yeah,
He helped me write a paper about a tower.
and it was it got me back. The creative juice
Yeah,
is
he
flowing.
beat me by 1%.
That's
He's a
right.
bastard.
I'm a bastard. I'm
But-
the worst. But like the concept is if people like are being watched or have the perception that they're being watched, it makes it so that they follow the rules. So like if one of us or we had a few people standing there and watching, there'd still be people that would like spray paint or whatever, but people when they feel like they're being watched and don't want to break a rule are more likely to okay, that's it. That's all I'm allowed to do.
Well, we're planning to have a surveillance camera, so they will technically be watched.
That's true. But there's so many surveillance cameras now that people like act like they will anyways, just because it's become part of life. I feel like you need a physical person there to really bring it home anymore.
Yeah, it is kind of a weird subconscious thing, I think, because you got, security cameras all the time. You got your phone, and like Facebook listening, and
Right, everybody else. No, they definitely are. I just got a bunch of weird shit today about other stuff that I was watching on there because, I don't know, they're creepy and want to follow me everywhere I go.
It's a state.
I've luckily like always followed the rule of like anything you type on the internet, like if you didn't want it on a billboard, don't type it. And thankfully, I mean, I've used the internet for I don't know, a long time now, and
Right.
I don't know, somehow learned that lesson early on.
That's definitely a good rule to follow for sure.
Yeah.
The typing for sure. I mean, sometimes on video we'll do like comedy stuff, which if you like took a snippet of it out of context, it could look horrible. But I don't know. I feel like it's slightly different. Oh, maybe not anymore.
I also have like this feeling that nothing I do is important enough for anybody to ever pay attention to on the internet because there's so much other shit out there that it really doesn't matter too much what I put on there.
I think the biggest principle is to be nice to other people.
Sure.
And B, to never get rich because that's the way that people
Yes.
try to blackmail you. So if you're broke and nice, you don't really have to worry about
What you put on the
What you
internet.
put on the internet.
Is once we reach a high level of fame and notoriety that they're going to be combing through all of our Facebook posts for the past 20 years to find where we said inappropriate things.
Yeah, I'll bring up that thing you did before the show.
No, don't do it.
No.
No,
You bastard.
never. Oh, man.
Terrible.
But I think that would be a really cool idea. We should find somewhere that'll let us put up a paint wall or a tape wall or whatever.
And just go to town.
And just not even go to town, just like market it. Just tell people like, hey, here's a wall. You can paint whatever you want on it. We're recording it, and everybody's allowed to paint over each other. See if your stuff stays or makes it or what happens to it, and we're gonna make a cool video at the end. We should use the side of my house.
Hey, yeah, I mean, if that's what you want to do, we could do it
I feel like that's a security issue though
for the side of your. I mean, yeah,
for the side of your house.
yeah.
We need to find a friendly business that needs a wall painted.
They could do it on that jail that they have down at the Perry Square.
Yeah, that'd be cool,
The brick wall there.
right? One of those walls,
It's not
or
a jail, it's a stage.
or like the side of basement transmission, or like any sort of side of a building, or what's the other one? The bunker that
Lavery.
the Lavery has, like on the side of there.
BT, that might be cool.
Side of BT. Is there really a side of BT though?
Sure. Yeah.
That's open?
got
You,
that
like if
parking
you have to
lot.
go in the back?
No, there's a parking lot right there.
Oh,
Right?
across the street?
Maybe I'm.
Isn't there a building in between the parking lot
yeah,
and BT?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
That Denzia building or whatever.
I don't know.
I don't know. Whatever one it is. Anyways, we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, we'll find a place to set that up and then just set a long surveillance camera with 1 million hours of memory and make stuff. Or I'll just pick it up like once a week or something like
Yeah,
that.
we
and
won't need
change
a
it.
million hours of memory. That's a long time.
Well, if it's going to be up for like a year for a summer, and we're going to turn it into a video and then repaint it clean for everybody. I feel like that would be cool to do over time too, because like I feel like the longer it went, the more people would want to paint on it, and the more it would get painted, and the more it would change and morph throughout the year.
You think something like that would be cool for Erie, like from like a tourist or like, you know, positive publicity? Because that's one of the things you do when you go to big cities. Like you check out like certain like
Graffiti and stuff.
well, not just graffiti, like monuments or like, you know, if it's
Murals.
not, or murals or like just these hot spots. And if it's something you can interact with, even better.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. How do we do it though? We have to put paint there every week.
I don't know, man.
It might be $1 million.
It's, I mean, yeah.
Or we just tell people to bring their own paint. I mean, I guess we would have to tell people to bring their own paint, but then once we become millionaires from this idea somehow, then we'll just leave paint there all the time for people to paint with.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? But, anyways,
Even if things do go wrong, though, that's part of the art.
it's part of the art. So, hey,
You know what I mean?
we are just here doing a social experiment.
We are doing a social experiment. We're
all.
scientists and artists. Usually not commonly seen as the same or part of the same world, but we're about to bridge that gap apparently with this idea.
Yeah. So if you,
If you have a wall, anybody out there, you got a wall that you want to get painted, let us know, and we'll set up a camera and turn it into a big thing. It'll be cool.
We're gonna
You'll
make
like
it happen.
Everybody will love it. It'll bring attention to your business or whatever your wall is. It'll be cool.
it'll be cool. So if you like, you were in New York, you were taking all these sweet, awesome pictures. The gallery was incredible. You know, everything was so cool there. I liked it a lot.
Thank you.
What if you don't already have one planned? Where would be another like area or city that would be like next on your like dream list to go and shoot?
I was thinking maybe like New Orleans, just because like that may not be there
Too
in,
much
like,
longer.
a decade,
Right.
That's true.
So, you know, and the culture seems pretty cool down there, and you know,
Yeah. There's a few
good
cities that are like
music.
that. Like New Orleans, Miami. I've always said I wanted to go to Venice, which is already like mostly underwater, I believe. And but yeah, that would be a good spot too. I feel like there's a lot of cool history and old architecture and stuff there. But a lot of people have also told me that New Orleans is a fucking shithole.
yeah. Sorry.
Sorry, New Orleans, we love you, but that's the way it goes, I guess.
French Quarters is one of the places I've always wanted to see. I think you could get a lot of cool stuff down there. I've heard it's a small little area though. It's not very big, but it's
Right.
always bustling. It'd be cool to go down there during like Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah, obviously
Yeah.
that's like the time you go, I think, if you're trying to see that kind of stuff or really be in the party scene or whatever.
I think that's when all the natives leave.
Yeah,
Leave.
probably.
Yeah.
Rent out their spot and they get out of there.
For sure. They probably had enough at that point.
But you would I mean, just trying to think like you think or whatever, which I don't know you, that, you know, so I'm just getting out there. But just based off the photography that I saw, we're both named Dave. It's a thing.
Yeah, right.
But based off your New York photography, like, I see you as a type of artist that would go down there and wouldn't be super concerned with photographing like what everyone else wants to photograph.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I just basically walk around and see what catches my eye. I mean, there was like, I would spend some time like on Google Maps and like Street View and stuff, and just kind of explore that way as well. Because it's like a lot of walking.
Oh yeah.
There was definitely days I had to take, you know, days off here and there. You know, maybe go out like 4 days. I would try to avoid the weekend essentially, because like the subway schedule gets all weird, and you know they work on it. And, yeah, and too many people. But yeah, I'd find like a cool spot maybe, and just like go out there and then just like continue to just walk around and
Find stuff.
just whatever. Yeah.
It's a big adventure. And I think that's one of the things I need to try to remember more is that you can't take pictures if you don't have your camera.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah, you just gotta have it.
You just got to have it all the time.
Yeah, and there's times where like I go to leave the house, and then I think about I'm like, I don't need to bring my camera. And now that I said that, then I have to.
Right.
And I don't even use it. But,
Sometimes.
you know, I'd be so mad if I like purposefully put my camera away after I left, or, you know, and I was like, oh,
Why didn't I bring that?
look at that.
Why isn't he here? Yeah.
It's that age-old adage, like, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, right?
Oh, for sure.
I suppose.
Sometimes it's really.
Your bag's only so big,
Yeah, that's true.
you know.
I got this new like hand grip too. That's just perfect because I mean I have like a few different lenses, but really that one that's on there right now basically never leaves my camera for the most part. And
Is that what you use for photos?
mostly, yeah. That is what I use for photos too. But that lens primarily is the only one that's
Not
on
you, the
camera.
viewer, but the camera.
The camera over there that we're pointing at. Yeah, it's a Sony A7 IV. It's a beautiful camera.
Nice to
Incredible.
meet you.
Yes, absolutely. But I have this hand grip, so I don't even really need to bring my bag. I can just like strap this thing to my hand, so I can't like put it down physically and just go where I need to go. And when I don't, whenever I'm like, oh, I should bring my camera, and then I don't, and then I just like hate myself for it, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Fuck. Why didn't I bring that? Why am I such a lazy piece of shit?
So I'm the only one here who's not a photographer per se. It really makes that much of a difference on the phone, or from phone to camera.
Yeah, live picture during the thing.
Yeah.
There we go.
I just remembered I usually do like drummer cam anytime I like play a show. I just take like a cell phone picture from.
Nice. We're gonna take one at the end too.
Okay.
But it does make a big difference, camera to cell phone. But I still take really awesome, like tons of people take fucking awesome pictures with their cell phone. And I like to think that sometimes I nail a really cool picture with my cell phone too. But they're not going to be anything like the pictures that I can produce with that camera over there.
I mean, you get good lighting. Like good lighting, that's the thing. You know, you get good lighting, you get a crappy camera, you still take a
Good pictures,
photo, you
yeah,
know,
for sure. And
expose it right. But I know like cell phones though, they do. There's a lot of compensation because like you use like a real camera. You know, you just shooting raw, and then you got to like do some post processing to it,
right,
and
pump up those colors.
But I think
and-
cameras they do a lot of like instantly like they'll boost the shadows or you know stuff like
yeah,
that.
and turn up the colors and all that stuff. Like a lot of color grading for sure.
Because you know the lens is only so big, and you can only fit so much hardware stuff in there, so they make up for it in like the software.
Right, the AI that goes into turning those pictures into bright, beautiful, colorful things.
I will
instead of-
say though, this phone, I picked this up like I said. Oh, finally I get a new phone. Picked up in New York because this was my navigation, and my phone like didn't charge correctly, and I was like, I can't have this.
yeah,
No.
no,
You know.
definitely not.
Not there, no.
So I and I think I fell victim to advertising because there was all these billboards for the Google Pixel. Although I didn't buy the newest model, I bought the one
Before it,
and it sucks. It's
Really?
so bad. It just crashes all the time, especially with the camera. You know, you got to like pull up the camera, and I think it's doing all sorts of other stuff. You know, it's trying to like AI's trying to like figure out what you're taking a photo of, and it's like, yo, I just wanna, and then just gets confused, and it just shuts down.
ooh,
If I've ever been somewhere where I want to take a bunch of pictures, I've always had Androids, but where I want to take a bunch of pictures, like I'm on vacation, it'll kill like 60% of my battery in like a half hour.
Oh, for
You
sure.
know,
That's the video display. That's what does it.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm a diehard Samsung fan. He's the Samsung Ultra 21. It's got 1 million fucking pictures or lenses on it, and I think it does like a pretty incredible job, honestly, for the most part.
Samsung's like one of the OGs, like
Sorry, babe.
with the smartphones. But like Google, and then the other thing with Google is that Google has only invented like one thing, one
Right.
product, and that's the search engine. Everything else is like
Stolen, borrowed.
acquisitions.
Right.
So they just buy up all these other small little companies. So it's like not necessarily, you think, oh, Google, they definitely have it figured out. But it's like, no, they just have a bunch of money from the search engine.
Right, that they can buy all these other companies that do stuff like
But the
Android.
Google Pixel sucks.
Don't
Just
get
saying
it. Yeah, I like my Samsung Ultra 21 a whole lot. It takes beautiful pictures,
and it can take pictures of the fucking moon. But see, the thing is it doesn't really take pictures of the moon.
I heard it's fake.
Oh, it's fake as fuck, dude.
Not the moon.
No, the moon.
no, well, that's debatable.
That's debatable too. The moon might also be fake, but like you can hold like a picture of a quarter or hold like a quarter up in the air, and it'll just like AI it into the moon. Basically, is what it does. Is
It's all trickery. Like I said, it's all in the software.
Right.
Who's to say there's not someone holding a quarter up at all times?
That is the
Yeah,
moon.
that is the moon.
It
But
could be.
We don't have enough time tonight to get into that.
Not after we spent so much time on fonts, anyway.
It's so weird. It's the same size as the sun. No.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
For whatever reason, I don't know why, but on Facebook, I think I looked at one meme for too long, and I gotta watch out. Like you will look at something too long, and they're like, "Oh, you like that, huh?"
Oh my god, I
So
hate it.
I get all these like flat Earth things. I don't even know why.
Nice.
But now I'm like just really interested in like how dumb. It's a really good like. I don't know. I think it's a good learning tool. Just to like be like, oh, it's flat because of this, and it's like, well, no, this is actually what's happening.
Right.
And a lot of it's just like angles. I notice people get really tripped up when it comes to like angles. Because I noticed in like photography, because you take a specific shot and you're like I took that one photo of the moon rising with the fireworks and the bicentennial tower, and like people were just so confused. They're like, the moon, it's not that big, and I'm like, well, I'm zoomed in, like all the way across the bay,
Right.
so it's just like a it's optics.
Dude, I got a drone.
I'm jealous.
We should go play with this sometime
That'd
when
be
it gets
great,
warmer,
dude.
dude. Yeah.
That would be.
I got.
I've never flown a drone.
It's so fucking easy.
Or rode one of those hoverboard things.
I've never ridden I've ridden a Segway, and I think I've ridden a hoverboard. But these drones are so easy to fly. Like it would take me like I could just hand you the controller and you figure it out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
How to do it. But yeah, it's
Good software.
it's amazing software, and it takes great pictures too. And incredible video.
So it has like a built-in. You don't like strap your camera to it.
Oh no.
Do they have drones like that?
They do, but those are like thousands and thousands of dollars, and you get
Right.
if you're buying something like that, you're putting like a cinematic camera on it. You're putting like a Red or an Ari or something that's fucking 20
and you
pounds.
could afford to crash it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's not.
No, this one's it's like it's a full frame camera, or it's. Yeah, well, one is like a full frame, and the other one, or a full frame camera, and the other one's like a 4/3 or something like that frame, and it takes incredible pictures.
Three-quarter, I think.
Yeah, 3/4 frame, and it takes incredible pictures. It's got like a 75 millimeter or to 10 millimeter lens, so it can do a little bit of zoom action on it.
10. Wow.
Or maybe it's 18 or 20 or 30. 10's real small, but I don't know. It's really cool camera. It's a really cool little device. I'm hoping to use it a lot coming up. But yeah, definitely mess around with it sometime.
I bought 2 lenses while I was out in New York.
Yeah.
One, I wanted to get a wider lens because there's definitely, certain shots, or like you want to get like a building, but you're like up close.
Right.
So I bought, I got a 16 millimeter, which had like a bigger f-stop. I never know what to say, bigger f-stop or smaller f-stop.
Yeah.
Smaller f number.
Yeah.
But
equals bigger.
But the diameter is bigger. It's
Right.
ratios, it's nuts. But yeah, so like shooting with
How
those,
small of an f-stop?
I think 1.6.
Oh yeah, that's pretty
1.8.
wide open.
Yeah, it's nice. So you take a shot, you go, oh,
Right.
look at all that bokeh.
Yeah, that's what the people want out there.
I'm like a professional now.
Right?
No.
No, for real though, like that's it's cool to see.
But it's really easy then to get carried away with a big f-stop. And you're like, oh shit, nothing's in focus.
Right, yeah.
Except for this little sliver. You're like, okay.
I've noticed
Knock
that
it
recently.
back a little bit.
I've noticed that a lot recently with some of my pictures, is that like I only get part of it in focus because I shoot almost always with like my f-stop wide the fuck open.
Right.
Which is just me not being aware enough to close that up a little bit and raise my other features or slow down my shutter speed or whatever to get everything in focus.
Yeah, because the lens that came with the camera, it's like 5.6. It's like,
Yeah.
slow as it goes. So,
Really?
yeah.
Wow. Oh, never mind. I was thinking other way around. But yeah.
Yeah.
but
Big, small.
F's are weird, and it's not an F either. It's an aperture. It doesn't make any cameras don't make any sense.
No.
They're tricky. I need to get a wider lens like that too, like an 18 millimeter or something like that. But I need to get a bigger zoom. I want to get a bigger zoom lens first.
Oh yeah, those can get pricey.
Oh my God, there's so much money, so much money. If you get like the Sony G Masters, like the pinnacle lens for that camera, are all like easily $1,000 to $2,000. Like no matter fucking what, you're spending a ton of money on a lens.
For sure. I mean, some people, I've heard of people just renting some of those
Yeah.
bigger lenses.
Well, the cool thing about Sony is that their stuff is open source, I guess. So I can buy like off-brand lenses that are still really, really good, that are a little bit more budget friendly. Like I can buy like a Tamron lens or a Sema Yang lens, or I could buy like the Sony name brand lens, and they all are great lenses, and they all take good pictures. So it's really, whatever. I'm fortunate in that department. You use a Canon R5, R6?
R6 Mark II.
Ooh, there you go.
I had to wait for it because it was like brand
Brand new,
new, and
yeah.
on the they ran out.
Yeah, so you're the equivalent of like a Sony G Master would be like a red line Canon lens.
I had no idea.
Red line, the Canon lenses with the red line on are like the top of the line, highest end lenses.
Oh yeah, I don't think I have any of those
Yeah.
fancy red.
Right.
I don't know what it is. That thin little red line just makes you're like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. Well, a lot of the G Masters are white. So when you see somebody with a Sony camera and a white lens, you're like, oh fuck, dude, that guy's balling out of control, spending thousands of dollars on lenses. He must be big time photographer.
Yeah, it was definitely an upgrade though, because I was using a Rebel T7.
And that's like their entry level,
Pretty much, yeah.
or I don't know. Like now you're using like a pro grade camera. That's like the amateur level or entry level.
Yeah,
whatever.
it's like a $300 versus $3,000
camera. Big difference.
Yeah. So and I've picked up my old Rebel and it just feels like a toy. Like you're just like, what? What is this?
I took pictures with this.
Yeah, I thought this was like the shit.
Right
And,
back in the day. Oh, we lost the light.
Uh-oh.
That's okay. It's battery powered. But that's I think that's our sign to wrap it up, though.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, has it been like an hour?
It's been like an hour, yeah.
I was so worried about what I was gonna like talk about.
No, dude.
We always have stuff to talk
Yeah,
about.
it's easy. Well, it's easy when you spend 20 minutes talking about fonts.
I mean, you could spend all day
Talking about fonts, right?
Yeah.
Everybody loves that too, I'm sure.
That'll be part 2 of this episode.
Yeah. Dave comes back to talk about fonts with us some more.
Right. So I could plug some stuff.
Absolutely.
do
Yeah,
it,
please
do it.
tell them how to get a hold of you, get in touch with you.
I got
I
got my own website. It's diggitdave.com. That's DIGGIT Dave.com. You can look at some photos, and I got an online shop. I got all my New York City photos. You can order those.
Definitely do that.
I still have photos hanging up at the City Gallery at 1503 State Street. I framed them all myself with the help of Joe Pop, who was like the framer of the art museum for like 20 years. So they're like pro quality.
They look beautiful. They're incredible pictures.
Hand signed. So go check them out. Support the local gallery. Support PACA. Check out what they got. Real quick. I got a PACA Live show. I got 2 PACA Live shows in January.
Woo!
I've been a little sparse. I used to do it like every week.
Every week for like a long time.
2.5 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and then I got burnt out.
That'll happen.
I took my vacation in New York City and then I took a break for the summer. Anyway, so I have 2 PACA Live shows in January. January 7th, we have Bummer Country, which is the band I'm in, and we're booked because that is also my birthday. So,
Ooh, congratulations.
Little birthday treat to myself is just perform on my own show.
Hell yeah.
And then after that, we have Sarah Haggerty.
Okay.
I hope I'm thinking it wrong, but
She's a friend on Facebook of the show. She started following and liking our stuff recently.
yeah.
Cool.
And I think that's it. Yeah, check out PACA Theater. We do cool theater stuff. That's PACA1505.org.
That's right.
And that's probably it.
Good. Well, thank
Good
you.
stuff.
thank you for coming on. It was super fun hanging out
Yeah,
for a
dude.
while. Thank you for bringing lights and
Hot chocolate.
hot chocolate and
Cookies,
cookies. Like,
yeah.
this is how you be a proper guest on this show, by the way. Everybody else that's coming on or been on, you guys need to step up your game, I think.
Take notes.
But we love you guys. Thank you all for coming out and hanging out with us during the show. Thank you for listening. Thanks to all of our sponsors, all of our patrons, everybody out there. Y'all are the best. Peace out.